How's it going, everybody? I'm Rinsler, and today I'll be checking out the 10 strangest WWE gimmicks of all time. I'm going to leave a link to the original video by Cultaholic in the description below, as well as a link to my TikTok channel for more wrestling related content. Alright, I don't know too much about wrestling from the 90s. Like, I know a lot of, like, you know, the bigger stars, bigger moments that happen, different things like that. But, like, I have a feeling that if somebody's on this list, it's very likely that, like, they weren't successful. So, like, maybe I'll recognize some of them, but I'll be honest, like, I have a feeling I'm gonna be pretty clueless during this, so let's get into it.
Rangers, Nintendo 64, Blockbuster Video. The hysteria surrounding the impending Y2K catastrophe and subsequent end of the world. Just a few reasons to fondly look back on the 1990s. WWE wrestling was also pretty good.
Okay, I know that. It was like Max Moon.
Not all of the time.
Is he just
we all enjoyed watching
like a dude from space,
like Bret
I guess?
Hart, Shawn Michaels, Undertaker, Steve Austin, The Rock, Mick Foley, Ultimate Warrior, Triple H, Randy Savage, Diesel. Jesus Christ, we were spoiled rotten back then. But not every character or gimmick was a winner, and the company had a propensity.
Yo, I'll be honest, I don't know how the Undertaker didn't fail.
Strange on its audience with shocking frequency. Whether it was the golden, new generation, or attitude eras, you could count.
I mean, like, it's weird because, like, now obviously, like, we know like how successful he's been, but he's like at the basic level, he's just like a creepy dude. Like, that's it.
Please don't shout at me. But some of these,
he's just some weird dead man, like, kind of. I don't know. I feel like that gimmick like wouldn't work today for sure.
Made it practically impossible to suspend disbelief and sometimes even enjoy the show.
Oh god! Also, they have like so many like country. I don't know how to say, like, country based like foreign characters, I guess, like foreign heel characters, whatever you would call them. Can't talk. What?
They have no cavities at all. WWE tried to exploit what is a genuine fear for some folks with the evil dentist Isaac Yankem DDS. It was the mid-90s and occupational gimmicks.
Yeah, I think if I saw Isaac Yankem like on my TV, I'm pretty sure I would just stop watching, honestly. So he looks so gross.
Quite the featured role for the rookie, as he had been brought in by Jerry Lawler to take down Bret Hart as part of his long-running feud with the Hitman. That led to a high-profile match at SummerSlam, which proved to be the character's peak. It was simply too cartoonish and over the top to be taken seriously, even though Jacobs had plenty of size and a solid style. The gimmick originally came about due to a joke.
Imagine Britt Baker like changed her dentist gimmick to be like Isaac Yankem, where she's just like completely just rotten looking and disgusting.
The character quickly fell down the card and then out of sight, with the mayor of Knox County being given the honor of portraying the fake Diesel. Number 9, Repo Man.
I know Repo Man.
May have been lost in translation for
I mostly just kind of know just his name. I don't really know what he's done.
Because we don't really have Repo Men, at least not Repo Men who wear duster jackets and Zorro masks and carry tow ropes around anyway. It's usually just a big bloke in bad jeans called Barry Two Hands or Steve the Stone who will break your thumbs if you don't have the dough. The sneaky grappler's whole shtick was that he took great joy in taking away things from folks who couldn't afford to pay for them, or, you know, just to be antagonistic, such as the time when he stole Randy Savage's hat. The man behind the mask can't blame creative for this dead duck, since it was actually Barry's own idea, inspired by his previous job repossessing.
I feel like this would be like a decent, like a pretty good like comedy gimmick. Like, imagine him in like a 24/7 like title storyline or something. Like, I think it could be funny.
Such as his feud with the British Bulldog,
and like something you could always fall back on as well. Like, you could just make a story out of nothing by just having him steal something important to somebody. Like, I feel like they could be kind of interesting, but I can see how it would get old.
The Goon, Duke the Dumpster Drosy, etc. The strangest of the strange is probably TL Hopper. Hopper was a plumber, meaning that he cleaned toilets by day and wrestled at night, which doesn't really seem very hygienic, and also speaks to the.
You know what? You know, shout out to all my blue collar workers. You know, man's just trying to live out his dream, but you still gotta make a living at the same time.
Anthony, who had enjoyed some success in the southeastern indies as Dirty White Boy. The former Smoky Mountain Wrestling
buddy,
was one of many hired by by WWE to fill out
can't
their
defend you anymore.
undercard during the lean years and was introduced to the audience through a series of vignettes which showed plenty of arse cleavage.
Yo, why is
He
Jerry
carried
Lawler
his
like connected to all these
trusted
weirdos?
Betsy to the ring with him, and he would rub it in the face of opponents after victories, which wasn't often, since he was primarily used as an enhancement talent. Realizing his career was being flushed down the drain, Anthony took a hiatus and hung up his stained wife beater, trading it in for dungarees and a John Deere cap when he returned as Uncle Cletus, the short-term manager of the Godwins. The creative equivalent of taking a dump, this gimmick really stunk. Number 7, Santa Claus. Many of the gimmicks on this list had an obviously short shelf life, but only one of them could be relevant for literally weeks, perhaps even just days out of the calendar year. And that would be the evil Santa Claus, the Chris
I've definitely heard his
from the dark
name.
side.
I don't think I've ever
Unleashed on
seen
the
him
WWE
like in
universe
the
at
ring
December
ever.
1995 In Your House Seasons Beatings pay-per-view. Hailing from the South Pole and on a mission to steal your presents, Santa Claus was played by the man who would go on to become Balls Mahoney. I mean, it's not often that a character with the first name
Balls Mahoney was
the
cool.
lesser of evils, but here we are. He attacked Savio Vega, who was handing out presents to fans at ringside at the behest of the $1 Million Man Ted DiBiase. Santa Claus made a couple more appearances, including one
so
on
pretty
Raw
much
and a quick victory over
you either run with Ted
Scott
DiBiase or Jerry Lawler
Superstars
if you have
taping
this crap
before
gimmick
the
that's gonna
season
last
came to
a
an end and
month.
Santa Claus
I
was
guess
chucked
this is what it
away
seems
like
like to
that
me, at
ugly
least.
Christmas sweater you got from your Auntie Nora. Short-lived or not, the ridiculous character bombed and brought everyone involved the opposite of holiday cheer. You know what, if you want a proper full-on demented Santa played by a wrestler, check out Bill Goldberg in Santa's Sleigh. Actually, on second thoughts, don't. Number 6, Beaver Cleavage.
Oh yeah, I know Beaver Cleavage. Okay, I guess like these, I at least like recognize the names at the very least. I don't know like too much about these people, but
pushed the envelope when it came to bad taste. The unlucky recipient of this Russo-inspired abomination was Chaz Mosh Warrington, who needed something to do.
this definitely fit like the Attitude Era for sure.
In this case,
this could never happen today.
Been better off sulking in catering and wrestling dark matches because Beaver Cleavage was a potential career killer. A parody of 50s sitcom Leave It to Beaver, it was an incestuous send-up of old-fashioned, wholesome family entertainment. In vignettes, the Beaver Cleavage character and Mrs. Cleavage traded sexual innuendo that hinted that the mother-son combination were far closer than they should have been. That's what we all
that's for sure like deep into the Attitude Era.
Via a work shoot promo,
Not like that.
which has denounced the gimmick, and it was retooled so that Mrs. Cleavage became his on-screen girlfriend, renamed Mariana instead. But the fun times don't end there, because things took a domestic violence turn, as it was heavily implied on TV that Warrington was now beating her up backstage.
Oh my god!
Though it turned out that Mariana
I did not know that part.
The truth, because this was Vince Russo's late 90s WWE after all, and lest we forget, all women are liars. Number 5, the Berserker. If he came along today, people would probably just call him a hipster. But back in 1991, the Berserker, who was an unhinged and wild-looking Viking, struck fear into the hearts of impressionable kids watching at home. With his wild hair, bushy beard, furry boots, horned helmet, shield and sword, the Berserker
Wait, why would he be a hippie?
and then
I feel like I see him more as like a, maybe not a Viking, but something along those lines.
And constant repetition of the word "huss." His method for winning matches was certainly unique, as he would more
like he looks like he belongs in
throw
like
opponents outside
the movie
ring and take a
Brave or
count-out
something.
victory rather than pin them, running around and gesticulating wildly as the referee
How
counted
to Train Your
10.
Dragon.
Huss. While the character was like a watered-down version of the man who played him, Jim Nord's former tag partner Bruiser Brody, he did occasionally escalate things, such as the time when he tried to give The Undertaker a Viking funeral and then almost impaled him on his sword, although ultimately settled for pile driving the dead man on the concrete floor. Huss! The Berserker
Oh god, this is just Drew McIntyre when he's like washed up and like refuses to retire.
Despite being 1,000 or so years
He pulls a Ric Flair and has like
behind
3 different retirements.
Huss. Number 4, Max Moon. From the distant
Hey, Max Moon.
past to the unknown future now.
I just thought, I remember like when I was younger, I used to just think he looked cool. I didn't know anything about him.
The brainchild of Lucha Libre star Conan, Max Moon was a robot/alien/spaceman thing who wrestled in a bright Technicolor costume and was supposed to make his entrance flying to the ring with the aid of a jetpack while shooting confetti out of a cannon attached to
Hey, that
his
sounds
wrist.
sick though.
Yep. The outfit cost a reported $13,000 to make, which was quite a bit of cash back then, and Vince McMahon and the creative minds behind the scenes put a lot of energy into ensuring that the presentation of the character was just right. Well, they tried to anyway. Regrettably, Conan had issues working the WWE style at the time, didn't like transporting the boxes of gear around himself, and also
I can
butted
imagine.
heads with some in the locker room. All that, coupled with his burgeoning success south of the border, meant that he left the company, burning that bridge in the process, after playing the role just a handful of times. The gimmick was then given to Paul Diamond, but it wasn't a hit, and Max Moon went back to his home planet after just a few months. Number 3, Damien Demento. Damien Demento will likely only ever come up in conversation if you're at a pub quiz, and one of the questions
I've seen his I've seen a picture of this guy, but like I didn't know what his name was or anything like that.
Because that is the main claim to fame of the performer who was billed as emanating from the outer reaches of your mind.
What?
I'm not entirely sure what exactly the gimmick was actually supposed to be, which is one of the main things that makes it so strange. He was supposedly demented, and dressed weirdly with a devil worshipper's beard coupled with a Paul Heyman skullet, likely
he's just Kevin Thorne and Snitsky put together.
In the ring, he was nothing special, just another big guy who liked to kick and punch and do the occasional chin lock or 7. The aforementioned Raw main event, losing to The Undertaker, is the main reason why anyone remembers him, since though he did make occasional televised appearances, he was mainly relegated to house show duty. Demento had a standout look and played the madman convincingly enough, and who knows, maybe with time the character could have been fleshed out a little and enjoyed more success. What I'm saying is perhaps it's time to bring the Damien Demento gimmick back. What do you say? Your move, Luke Gallows.
Wait, actually, oh my god. Wait, that was perfect. I didn't even notice that he looked like so much like Luke Gallows.
Mike Shaw was given 2 of the worst personas ever, one right after the other. The first, Friar Ferguson, was a supposedly drunk monk, making its epic debut on Raw in April of 1993.
That actually sounds like it could be entertaining.
It didn't take too long for WWE to receive negative feedback from the Catholic Church of New York City, and the character was
it doesn't sound like it's
after that
entertaining,
one and
my
only match. Shaw disappeared for a month, and when he returned,
And this is not
it was
okay.
Bastian Booger. I mean, really, talk about falling arse first onto a cactus and then falling off the cactus and smashing your head into a rock, eh? The Booger character was a slovenly, gluttonous hunchback who wore what looked like duct tape lingerie to the ring and grossed out audiences by gorging on fatty cuisine. The gimmick was
that's worse than Isaac Yankem for sure.
That's
That's so nasty.
Yeah, give him a role where he has to eat pizza, cream cakes, and ham after matches. That'll get his waistline down. Booger was essentially a glorified jobber for most of the year and change that he was uglying up our screens, but he did have a feud with Bam Bam Bigelow and would have probably won the 1994 Royal Rumble if he didn't have to withdraw due to food poisoning.
Bro.
Number 1, Mantar. They say a picture is worth 1,000
I've heard of Mantar.
Look at this picture. What else can really
yeah.
be said? I tell you, 1,000 words come to mind while looking at that monstrosity, but most
Dude,
of
how do you wrestle on
letters
that?
long and
Did he take it
will
off,
probably
or
get
did he keep it on?
YouTube. Mantar was a total and utter disaster, a bizarre clunker of a character that is still used as shorthand
he took it off,
today
okay.
when describing the worst of the worst in sports.
Imagine you take a super kick with the
concept
helmet
of a
on.
Minotaur come to life is from the start a stretch, even for wrestling fans with their tongue permanently planted in their cheek to accept, but the presentation just made everything so much worse. Poor Mike Halak. He was supposedly given the gimmick because someone in creative saw that his actual feet were somewhat hoofish, had to wear that bull's head, which was too big and cumbersome to enter the ring with and kept falling off, and then moo and charge at his opponents while wearing an unflattering black and brown singlet. The gimmick was DOA, and after some routine victories over even lowlier jobbers than himself, he was staring at the ceilings for the likes of Thurman Sparkplug Holly.
Hey, shut up, Bob. Yeah, okay, that was actually pretty bad. That was a little worse than I thought. See, like, whenever I think of, like, weird gimmicks from the 90s, like, initially, I'll go to, like, I don't know, like, Doink or something. But, like, I feel like he was, like, halfway successful-ish, but it was still, like, still a freaking clown. So, like, I feel like it would be kind of dumb. These ones are just gross. And they're just dumb. Like, obviously, somebody just had, like, just a random idea, and they're like, screw it, put them on TV. Like, they had nothing. I assume this was, like, as WCW is like coming up, so like all their bigger stars are gone, so they're just throwing whatever they can at the wall. But like, I feel like you could still try, maybe, but that's just me. Well, that's gonna do it for today, guys. If you enjoyed the video, feel free to leave a like, comment down below with any suggestions of other videos you'd like to see me react to. For more wrestling related content, feel free to check out the other videos on my channel, as well as my TikTok channel, where I post almost daily. So see ya.